Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Thanks, Jim.
Larry, you had a news release this week. What was in it?
Well, it was discussing, if you remember back 10 months ago, we announced that we were going to look into doing a spin-out of our mining assets in British Columbia. And so the reality is that after a lot of investigation, it looks like there's no advantage for the shareholders or anyone else to spin it off into a separate company. And the reason I say that is that according to the regulations on the TSX Venture Exchange, if we put $1 million over to the new company, that will allow us to give a half a share for every 10 shares held. And if we put $2 million over, that would allow us to give us 1 share for every 10 shares held. So that doesn't look like a great deal for American Manganese because that would suck down our treasury. And so it's not what we would want to do. We were hoping that we'd be able to do some kind of like an IPO that would put money into that company. But it was a different time, a different place. 10 months ago, the price of the company was 25 cents, and we didn't want to face a lot of dilution to get working on our mining properties. So it looked like the solution was to spin them out into a separate company. But now that doesn't work on a benefit for shareholder basis, and so we've decided to cancel that. In the meantime, the company has proceeded with a 43-101 report, which has been filed. We've done deals with the native groups. We have moved the property ahead in other various ways. We've had application in with the mines department out of Smithers to drill the property this year, and it looks like we're in line to get that happening. And one of the key things was to settle out with the native groups, and there's a lot of pushback on that, but the reality was we came to an agreement, and I think that will be announced at a further date, but it looks like we can proceed with the application. That's what the government was waiting for. And we could be up there this, probably early this summer, because there's a lot of snow up in the hills there yet. Last time I checked, which was earlier this week, there was still a lot of snow up on the hills. Nothing was melting. And, you can get up to 10 or 12 feet up there, so we have to wait till the snow goes, and hopefully we could be in there as early as July and get our drill program going. So I think the benefits for the shareholders leaving it in Amy are much more appealing than the benefits for spinning it out. Because I'll give you an example. Let's say we put $2 million over, and you get 1 share for every 10. So if you had 10,000 shares, now you got 1,000, and you made a significant discovery. The stock might go to let's say $3 or $4, and but in reality, if it was still in Amy, the stock could go up $1.50, and you'd have 10 times the amount of shares issued. So it's just a matter of math to figure out where do you benefit. And so it was a pet project of mine that I pushed along, and but the reality was, at the end of the day, it just didn't make sense for the company. And certainly did not make sense for the shareholders. So we moved on to keeping it in the company. And, there's always an opportunity to flow through shares to do the work up there. I've already got people inquiring about that. And we could get enough flow through done to do this summer's work. And So that's kind of where it sits. I'm anxious to get on that property. I have been anxious for quite a few years. We got involved in manganese, and we ignored the benefits of the Reaugh property, where there was a past producer on it that ran up to 6% copper. And if you're looking for a deposit, if you're looking for a new deposit, the best place to start looking is where there was a mine. And so there was a mine on this property, so I got high hopes for it. But you have to remember now, that's high hopes. But, if we're lucky, we should hit this summer. It may be next summer, but, it's something that has to be done. I mean, there's all kinds of mineralization on that property, including cobalt and nickel, gold, and zinc and lead and molybdenum, and you name it, it's there. And so, it's either an iron oxide copper gold, or it could be a big porphyry. And either way, I'd be happy to hit it. So that's kind of the story on what's happened to the spinout. I know that a lot of people were interested in the spinout. Some of them held on to their stocks so they get involved in the spinout, but that also allowed them to get involved in the last run-up in the shares. So it's not like it was a loss. So here we are. The stock actually moved up on that release today to $1.03, and but with the predator trading, at the end of every day we end up down, and so we ended up at 93 again. So it's these guys have got to be stopped, and it's up to the shareholders to to start complaining to the regulators about this rule and how it's harming the whole industry. I mean, I know one company out there that's got 27 million ounces drill, measured, and indicated and inferred, and we announced that, and the stock went down, and it's below $3 today. So and they can't seem to get going. It's terrible. I mean, if back when I could think about it, that was one of the biggest deposits that I'm aware of, especially in British Columbia, and it should have, in my opinion, should have been several dollars higher, but it's not, and so that's kind of where we're at right now. And we've beaten them twice, and I'm looking forward to the third time. So they have all the advantages are on the side of the shorters. There's no advantage to the investors. The investors just keep losing money, but it does set up a scenario where you can buy stock cheap. Our project has moved significantly along, and we will probably be doing our mine, not mine, but our plant design and estimations within a couple of months, and that'll put us on steady footing, and then we can start to project times. Everything else until we get there, I wouldn't project times. I don't like projecting times because it's also a blueprint for predators, and so they can line up to, as they do now, to kill every press release that goes out, and that's not fair. It's not fair to the shareholders. It's not fair to investors. It's not fair to anybody but the predators, and they make all the money and run home with your profits. And so let's just look at this as an opportunity to give us another cog in the wheel. And I think the recycling is definitely where the action all is, but there's also action happening on the work that we're doing for the DLA, and that action is the strategic stockpiles in the U.S. It's being funded by the DLA, and that work is ongoing. and which could result in another look or a joint venture on our holdings in the Artillery Peak area that could be turned into a mining operation. Don't forget, we have patents on that too. So, it was for all opinions, it was a good day. I know people are impatient. You know, companies are doing deals with absolutely nothing around them. I mean, they're not saying how they're going to do the things they claim they're going to do. And but you know, when we say, "Hey, we can do that," we'll know that answer within a few weeks. So, you know, it's all in the morphology now, which has slowed us down considerably and cost us a lot of money. But if that's what the end market wants, that's what we want to deliver. So let's just keep on trucking, and away we go. So I didn't have any questions to answer today. I didn't submit any that I'd received, because I figured that a discussion on the spin-out and the fact that we've dropped the spin-out was foremost.
Larry, for people new to American Manganese, what's the company all about?
American Manganese is a critical metals company that has developed a process for treating low grades of manganese in the U.S., and that's a patented process. And from that patented process, which is now the cornerstone of our recycling, let's move the company into a new era. And I couldn't be happier. I'm not happy with the prices it is right now, but I can see a lot of things happening. A lot of people don't realize that there is a lot happening within the company. And, we've talked to a lot of the big players out there. So, we've turned down some offers that were just would have been company killers as far as I'm concerned. But, that's our process, and you can find all the information. We're very transparent about all our results, so you can find it on our website at AmericanManganeseInc.com. We're traded on the Toronto Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. We're traded in the QB Exchange under the symbol AMYZF, and we're traded in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM. And you can reach the company by emailing me at LREAUGH@AMYMN.com, or you can phone the company at 778-574-4444 and get all the information that you want.
Larry, thank you so much for the update.
Thank you.
I've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on May 21st.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.